Hi everyone, trust you all are doing well. So in the previous one, we worked on the view and set it up all our components, and I just formatted my indicator component a little bit just to kind of make it easier, less HTML or blade syntax or whatever you want. All right, so I've just updated that. So if you want to copy it over, you can. If you want to style it your own way, you can do that as well. All right, so let's work on our indicator class to be able to actually indicate to the user if they have a notification. All right, so let's create a public variable in our indicator component. Let me just go there again. So for people that might be new, all right, we go to app, HTTP Livewire notification. We will see we have our indicator class right there. So just go to that class component. All right. So as you can see, the class extends component. All right. Let's quickly create a public variable called as notifications. All right. So this we will determine if the user has a notification, yes or no. All right. So let me just bring in the view, okay, eliminate support right there. Okay. Now let's go and see if this person, let's assign this notification, the variable that we just created, we're going to assign that to this set. We obviously haven't created this yet. Set as notifications. All right, this one right here. Now what we want to do is we want to get the authenticated user. So the person is basically logged in. So authenticated user, just make sure we import it at the top as well, the facade, auth facade. All right, now on this user, we can actually click on, all right, unread notifications. Because of our facade, I'll just show you in a second. Let's go to the user model quickly. User model. All right, we're using this use notifiable right here. All right, we're using that trait right there. And inside that trait is called has database notifications. All right, as you can see, here is the unread notifications. Okay, so that's where that is coming from. So reason why I'm doing it is because if we understand, we learn a little bit better. Okay, so basically this set has, we obviously haven't created this method yet. Set has unread notification. We're going to do that in a second, but I just wanted to show you where this is coming from. We get the authenticated user, and then we get the unread notification, and we just want to get the count, how many there are. All right, so let's go down a bit here and actually just quickly create that public function. So just going to do a public function, and we're going to set as notifications like this, and we're going to pass in an integer, and we're just going to put in count, and this is going to be a boolean. Just return a boolean. This is going to be true or false. All right, and we're just going to return the count. It's then 0. All right, now we need to pass this notifications basically to our view. Let me just give us some room there. Create an array, and we're just going to pass that variable. All right, we're going to just say as notifications. We're going to equal that this. So this, come on, as. Okay, now we're all done. All right, so let me just put this all in separate lines so it's kind of easier to see for you guys. Right, now the next test comes in to see if that user has notification. So if we go to our indicator right here, now what we can do, we can bring an if statement. So if has notifications like this. So, and we're just going to put an and if at the bottom. All right. Now what will happen? This will only display if the user has notification, because this will turn either true or false. Okay, and I can put an else statement right here. And we can actually use this span tag and actually put it right here. All right. So if there is notification, this will display. If there's not, this will display. And instead of text blue, I will just make it BG gray 200. Or you can just leave this out completely. Okay. But I'm doing this just to show alternative ways or just friendlier ways to do things, I guess. Right, let's do that. Let's go to the browser and see if we can actually see the notification. Okay. Right, as you can see, I'm getting an error. Said has notification doesn't exist. I did create that. Let's see what's wrong. I put this in SNS, just make it singular. As you can see, it highlights it, knowing it's the same. Please everyone, I see I've misspelled it with an S right here. As you can see, I've created a public variable called has notifications. Just make sure you spelled this has notifications with an S as well, and this notification with an S as well. Everything should work now, as everything is in order right here. So in our indicator right here, it should work. All right, so let's go and check it out now. All right, as you can see, it's indicating, it's flashing to show that, listen, this person has notifications, but obviously the count is not updating because the count, it's obviously, we haven't created any logic for the count yet. Right, so this will be the short lesson, and the next one will be another short one where we will be updating the count, but maybe we can do everything in this one. All right, let's quickly do everything in this one. Right, so let me just quickly close the user, that one right there. Right, the next thing is obviously we need to update our count right here, because this needs, we need to work on that logic. Right, so what we're going to do, let's go to our Livewire notifications count right here, and let's create a public variable called count. Right, this is basically the count variable that we'll use on the front end to indicate if the user, how many notifications the user has. All right, so in our render method right here, we're obviously going to bring in the view. This is absolutely not necessary, but you can include it to make sure that you return the right view. All right, so let's create that variable quickly. So this count is going to equal to the auth user. So just make sure you bring in the authenticated user at the top as well. We're just going to get the authenticated user. Just going to get the unread, the same thing that we did, unread notification, if I can spell correctly. Unread notifications. Because if you spell this wrong, your code might not work. Unread notification count. All right. Let's see if I can actually go to the authenticated user. We imported at the top. Let's go user model. In our notifiable has and unread notification. I'm just going to copy it just to make sure I don't misspell it. Because sometimes it's just a little spelling mistake that can actually ruin your day. All right. So what we want to do is we just want to pass through that to, okay, let's just put it in here. So the count is going to equal to this count. Okay. Now, the next part that we want to do is we want to do an updated count, but we're obviously going to get to that part when we're actually going to, if the user mark it as read, we're going to create a listener for as soon as the person marked the post as read. But for now, we're just going to post that to the view indicator right here. So let's go to the view right here, and we're just going to pass in that variable. Instead of the count like that, we're just going to pass in the count like this, the variable. Okay. All right, so if we refresh this now, it should indicate 4. All right, as you can see, it updated and displaying now that there is 4 notifications. If you guys remember, we created this from when we actually seed the database. Let me just go there quickly. You guys remember we created 4 replies. We got our notification seeder in our threads table. You see we got 4 replies that we created, and for every reply in our notification seeders, then we get all the replies, and for each one we create a notification for the author. All right. So that's where that 4 is coming from. All right. Cool stuff. All right, so thank you guys for watching. So now we set it up our account. Very nice. We're actually going to create the listener event when the user actually update their notifications, but we're going to do that in the next ones. All right, where as soon as we're going to work on our index one as well. All right, this notifiable, we can close off. All right, so if you like the video, guys, please give it a like. If you don't, please give it a dislike. If you have any questions, please ask them for me in the comment section. I'll try and answer them. Yes. All right. The other thing is, like I said before, the likes are only if you find it useful, so that Google might think that since you find the video useful, other people might find it useful as well. That's the only reason I ask for if you guys want to like the videos. All right. Thank you guys, and see you in the next one. Adios.